What would you say, if you could, for this year, in preparation for the next year? What would you say to homesteaders and farmers? What would be the one thing that they should start prepping for?
I try to explain to the everyday citizen, we haven't seen anything yet because agriculture is going to be in turmoil this year.
Hey YouTube fam!
Hey!
So we're heading out to meet another YouTube creator that owns a farm, and we're going to get some different perspectives from him, so we're very excited and looking forward to it.
Yeah, and thank you so much to all of the new people who have subscribed to us. We're so appreciative. And if you want us to cover anything specifically, or you have questions for us, please comment them below, and we will try to address those as soon as possible.
Here on the farm, it's Deep Creek Farm, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're here with Donnie. We met him through the internet, through when COVID hit during the pandemic and everything. The health department was being
Mean to him.
in a rare mood with him and his business, and we got connected in the way they treated us. And so we met over the internet. So this is the first time we're here on their farm. So he's gonna be showing us around on his farm. He just taught the boys a little lesson on corn and soybean and straw and what he does.
Yeah, that's
so he's going to
cool.
take us on a tour, but we're also going to compare kind of ideas on the difference between a homestead and a large-scale farm. So stick with it.
Stick with it.
We don't have a pond.
Oh, you don't have a pond, but a beaver could make a pond for you. Oh, zebras, that's what you had, right? Was it zebras that you had? Okay, tell me, what did you have? What have you got?
Cow.
You got a cow.
Pigs.
Pigs.
Goats.
Goats.
And chickens.
Oh my gosh.
And dogs.
Oh wow. Okay, so what I have to ask is, you have one cow? Okay. So is the cow going to be for eating? No. Is it going to be to ride? No. What are you using the cow for then?
To milk it.
Oh, okay. So do you know how to milk a cow yet? You do, okay. So that's where I come in. It's kind of, you have to feed the cow something, right? What do you feed the cow?
Goat food.
Okay. I'm learning something today. So they have a cow. I thought I was going to teach them something. They're teaching me something because they're feeding the cow goat food. All right, we're going to continue with this. So,
Do you guys want to explain why?
Because it's her special sweet treat.
Well, hold on. So first off, the reason why we feed the cow goat feed is because it wouldn't eat any other feed.
okay.
It wouldn't eat cow feed. It wouldn't eat anything. So we tried every trick under the book, and then I had goats in the same pasture with her, and so I gave the goats goat feed, and then she ate it up. So I was like, okay, if she likes that, we're gonna stick with it. So.
But her majority what she eats is what? Hay. That's her main
Right.
side.
It'd be a fat cow on sweet feed. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Okay, so maybe this cow is somewhat normal because it does eat hay as well. All right. So, does it eat any of that? No. You know what that is, don't you?
Corn.
Corn. So is this the kind that you would eat or the kind that your pigs and cows and chickens would eat? You would eat it? Right. Let me know how it is. You want to try some? Would you like to try some? Huh? No? Well, guess what? This is what your animals would eat. This is not what you would eat. I mean, you could. You could. It's going to be a little hard on your teeth. And it's not going to taste good. Okay? So, but this is what I grow, is corn. This is one of the crops that I grow, is corn. So this corn would get ground up. And so you could take a hammer and make feed out of this. And see, you would just go like that, and you would have to crush that. So when your parents give y'all something to do, they could give you some corn, and then you could crush it, and now your chickens.
This is a great idea, actually.
Yes, I will eat this.
Now I'm learning why.
So now you could feed this to your chickens. I don't do any of this, so I have a combine that we harvest this corn like this, and yeah, this is
Whoa.
I have, over in the other barn, I have 2 different heads.
Maddie, what do you think?
To harvest, whether
So this
it's
is
corn or
more of a
soybean.
year rotational thing?
Yeah. So this,
Oh my.
It was right. That's one of the smallest
take
tractors.
it up into the machine, and then there's another
9,500 horsepower.
that separates the grain off of the cob or out of the cob.
This thing is like monster.
Go ahead, you can jump up in there if you want and sit in there.
Go ahead.
I'll still stand.
Yeah, there you go. One foot
Good
after
job.
There you go. I got
Good job.
Field, those 2 rollers are grabbing that stalk of corn. So pretend this is the stalk of corn here, and as it gets up into those 2 rollers, it is pulling the stalk down. And when it reaches the ear, if this is the ear, it reaches the ear, and those 2 plates are only that far apart, so it doesn't allow the ear to go down. It takes the ear, drops it on here, and just takes the ear into the combine, and then from there it separates the corn from the cob. And we sell it to somebody like Purdue. Have you heard of Purdue chickens in the grocery store? That's because you probably don't go to the grocery store. You have all of your own food, don't you?
We didn't even know they were a thing.
Well, Purdue is a thing. Purdue is one of the largest chicken producers over on the eastern shore of Maryland, and so they buy a lot of our corn, and so then they mix it up and grind it and put the sweet stuff in it so your goats will eat it and so the cows will eat it. So that's what I do.
That's so cool.
Do you know what that is?
Is that?
So have I stumped you? Oh, do you know what it is? No. You want to guess? What does it look like?
I don't know.
You can hold it.
Baby oranges.
So are oranges, what color is an orange? Orange. Orange. What color is orange?
Oh, orange.
It's yellow. Yeah, that's right.
No, it's orange.
A bean of some type. Maybe a soybean. Have you heard of soybeans?
Soybean.
Yeah. So this is soybeans. Again, you can eat them. You want to try it? You can try one. You want to try one? Bite down on it.
What do you think? You're gonna eat that, but you won't eat vegetables off of a plate.
Because they're green.
Right.
This is orange.
It looks like, yeah, it's orange, right, exactly.
Did you want to try one? No? Okay. What did you try it? You didn't like it either. So this is another animal feed here. So again, this would be mashed up. You can mash this up as well.
They're green beans. Yeah.
They start out as green beans, but then they turn brown like this, and they're soybeans. So this would be mashed up as soybean meal and mixed in with feed to feed the chickens and the cows and the pigs and all of that. You know where the straw comes from? No? It just comes out of the air like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes from clouds.
It comes from the clouds. God makes the straw. Straw comes from wheat. Have you heard of wheat? Yeah.
Yes.
And what is wheat used for?
Bread.
I was getting ready to say you should know this because I saw you making pizza. You were the pizza guy, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Mamma mia.
Yes, exactly. So that's right. Wheat is used to make bread. So a byproduct of wheat, so once the wheat is in the field and it's standing about this tall, and we have some growing out here, but it's not this tall yet. When wheat is out in the field growing, and it'll get about, stand up, let me see how tall you are. Yep, it'll get about this tall. So in a wheat field, we could hide him and we'd never see him again. Winter wheat that is growing now. So this is what is going to get about this tall, and in June we'll harvest it because it'll be tall enough and it'll turn brown. So we planted this in October. So it's called winter wheat because it overwinters. So it kind of dies off when it starts freezing and getting cold, and then it stops growing. And then when it starts warming up, we're just now getting into the green up period. So then I take a combine and I come through and I harvest the wheat. So this straw is going to stand up like this, and right on the end of this straw is going to be kernels of wheat, and it's going to be smaller than these kernels that are going to grow. So I'm taking all of this off. I'm going to sell it to Purdue for the chickens and the animals, and sometimes it makes bread and cookies, but then we're saving the rest for the straw. This machine here is what actually bales the straw up. So once all of this stuff is on the ground behind the combine, you would come through with this machine. It's going to gather it all up and pack it into this chute and make it into these bales of straw that you're seeing now. And this is when we go through the field and we get the straw. You're going to use the straw to put in the cow barn so the cow can lay down and stay warm in the wintertime. And then what does the cow do when it's in the barn? Yeah. And so this helps soak up all of the... I'm going to make the noise that your father made. So that soaks up all of the stuff so the cow doesn't lay in it. Also goes in, you probably don't drink Coke because you're not wound up, so you're not allowed to have Coke. But
that's right.
Which one of these do you think is in this Coke?
Soybeans.
Soybeans? You think so? Is that your guess? You're going to say corn. Do you have a guess?
What do you think?
Oh, come on. So you have to come over here and give me a guess if you want to go on the tractor.
You want to ride on the tractor?
Do you think it's in this bucket or that bucket? This one?
This one? Okay.
Good guess.
So we have 2 guesses that think soybeans are in corn, and we have 1 guess that think soybeans are in the Coke, and 1 guess that thinks corn is in the Coke. Well, guess what? You're the one that's right. Because if we look at the ingredients here, it's carbonated water and high fructose corn syrup.
Whoa.
Corn syrup. So
good job,
corn is in a lot of the stuff that you eat and a lot of the stuff at home. Now, soybeans, you may have some crowns that you use that use soybeans because of the oil. Baby powder. So what your sister, your mother's going to put baby powder. No, it's corn. It's cornstarch and baby powder. So you had asked about what some of the things that I'm doing to prepare for the spring. So one of the things that we have to start with is taking a soil sample of our soil to know how much fertilizer to put down with that. So it is a requirement of the state through the ag department that every 3 years we have to come out and take soil samples. From there we know how much fertilizer or lime to put down. So I just wanted to bring this out to show you, and you're just going to go down and you want about an 8-inch sample of dirt.
Oh, that's really cool.
So you would go through the field and take about 5 or 6 of these samples throughout the field, mix it all up and send a small sample to the lab to get tested. And so they would send this back to me and tell me, you know, what type of soil this is, if I need to put any lime out here, how much fertilizer to put out here based on the crop that I'm growing. So then it also shows you, they'll do a test on organic matter. Organic matter. So see these little roots in there?
Yeah.
So that's some of the organic matter that so that soil doesn't go together real hard. So you want that organic matter in there.
So this tractor you use right here gets the ground ready.
Yeah. Actually, no, but for demonstration purposes, yes. Because this is actually my smallest tractor, so I mainly just do spraying with this tractor and some other odd jobs.
Wow, that's
I've got larger tractors in the barn for plowing and tillage.
Yeah, that's just a small tractor. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes my tractor look like a little Tonka truck.
I want to see the biggest one that I have.
This one is a 100 horsepower tractor. I've got a 150 horsepower in the barn and a 200 horsepower in the barn.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said that how many acres did you say you?
Between 350 and 400 acres.
Okay, so that's how much he services.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, somebody can sit here and then somebody sit there.
I'm not safe up here.
We're gonna close the door.
We're gonna close the door.
Come on, Maddie. So Donnie's taking Eli and Cody on a ride right now. He's going to just kind of demonstrate a very basic process of what he does in prepping the ground. So for his demonstration purposes, he's just using a smaller tractor and some tines in the back. So we're going to be following him so you guys can see that. If you keep sticking with us here on this video, we're going to actually ask him, you know, what he thinks the difference is between homesteading and farming and what are the benefits and stuff like that. So we're going to get into that here in a little bit. You want me to carry it with me? You liked it? Was that cool? What'd you think, Cody? Come on. Can we both come on? Come on. Whoa. This is the biggest tractor we've been in.
I told your brother, can you hear how quiet it is in here?
It is very quiet.
So you can hear yourself think, and I can hear you thinking right now.
Now you said you had GPS, right?
Yeah, so what the GPS would do, if you look down the field, you can see the corn rows down the field here. So on the first pass, I would program the tractor to say, we're going to start at this point here. When I get to the other end of the field, I'm going to say we're going to stop at this point. And then what the GPS is going to do, I'm going to say, okay, what we have behind us is 10 feet wide. So I'll get to the end of the field. Now it knows the straight line I have to do from point A to point B.
Okay.
I actually turn it around, and there would be lines on the computer now that show, I would have a screen up here.
Okay.
There's going to be a line on, say, follow this next line. I get close to the line, I hit the button, the tractor takes over, and it follows that line to the end of the field.
Wow.
Thank you.
What'd you think?
That was so cool.
So we got to see you on like a scale of kind of what you do, and you said you do up to 350 acres planting soybeans, corn, and wheat.
Right.
So what would you say would be a big difference between homesteading and farming besides the size?
Oh my gosh. Well, the work, because you're doing a whole lot more hands-on stuff than what I'm doing. Basically, the 350 acres that I'm working, I'm pretty much doing it by myself.
Okay.
I've got some other guys, my daughter as well, that helps me when I get in a pinch and just needs that extra hand to do something, to hold a wrench or something like that.
Right.
For the most part, on this size, I'm able to do it myself. For what you're doing, you're a whole lot more.
For our food consumption.
Yes, it's for your food, and you want everybody involved.
Yeah.
You want the whole family involved to show them the process, to be self-sustaining.
Yeah.
So that would be one of the differences.
What would you say would be like, from your farming large experience, if you would tell, say, like for us as homesteaders, what would be something that would be like such great advice that could be given? You know, that you've learned.
Oh my gosh.
I know, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, you are. Don't be afraid of hard work. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. You know,
do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. You know, and if it's wrong, you can try again next year. You know.
Oh, true. Good.
Now, what would you say, like, if there was one thing
there.
that has always seemed to be a huge hindrance for you? What do you think that would be?
Government regulations.
Okay.
Yeah, government regulations. That is the biggest. It is not as fun to farm now as it was 20 years ago because of government regulation.
Because I know too, like for homesteading for us, I would say probably our biggest challenge right now is hay.
Yes, and it's going to get worse. I hate to tell you.
It's like we can find just about anything, but finding hay and then having the money to be able to buy the amount we need is such a challenge.
Yes.
It is the biggest obstacle we face. Besides like the other little odds and end things, you know, but I would say that's probably top on our list.
And the price is going up. The price is going up considerably. I just got pricing on fertilizer this past week. Triple. The price of fertilizer has tripled since last year. So we're just beginning to see the ramifications of these price increases. Roundup, we use a lot of Roundup here on the farm because a lot of our crops are what is called Roundup ready, which means we can plant corn or soybeans out here in the field. When it gets this tall, along with all the weeds, we can just go out and spray Roundup on it. The Roundup is going to kill all of the weeds, but not the corn or the soybeans. So for the last 20 years, Roundup has been the most used chemical. We can't get it now, and we're not sure if we're going to get it. So normally, what I would do, rather than till this up, so we will not plant this until late April, early May. What I would normally do is, in mid-April, I would spray this with Roundup, this field with Roundup. So any weeds and grass that are coming up now, like what you would see here, we would spray the field with Roundup. It would kill all of this. Then we would go in and plant without doing any tillage. We would just plant right into that. And then come back a month later after the crop has come up and more weeds have come up, spray it again with Roundup. Then the crop is going to canopy over where the weeds and the grass cannot get in the sunlight, so they're not going to grow. And then we're done as far as the managing weeds. This year, because we cannot get any Roundup, there are some other chemicals out there that will do the same thing, but it's not quite as good. We're going to end up doing a lot more tillage. So then what happens now is all of the conservation efforts that we've been through to get into a no-till situation where people have been no-tilling for 5 or 10 years, and you've got a good soil base there. You want earthworms. You want earthworms to be in that soil.
Microorganisms, all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the longer you no-till, the more that earthworm population builds up in there.
Okay.
So I've had some fields I've no-tilled 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I've got a great base of earthworms in there. The first 3 or 4 inches of that soil is just good loamy soil. Well, now we're going to have to go in and till it up because we don't have the chemicals to kill the weeds that are there. So we have to do mechanical tillage to kill the weeds there and get the seed bed ready, and then come back to plant. So
some more work too.
More work, more hours on a tractor. Of course, fuel costs are not cheap.
Right.
You know, fuel has gone up. So farmers are in a holding pattern right now as far as what they're going to do, as far as what their crop rotation is going to be this year. Corn is very expensive to grow, and especially with nitrogen costs tripling in price, corn is one of the most expensive grain crops to grow. So farmers are just looking right now and saying, am I going to plant corn this year? Maybe it's going to be all soybeans.
Right.
So then that has a trickle-down effect.
Right, because like everything has corn in it.
Yes, everything has corn in it. So now there's going to be a shortage of corn, and you won't be able to get the feed, or you won't be able to get the corn syrup for the foods, or cereals, or
everything.
Ethanol. I mean, there's
products,
a lot of
hair product, everything.
Yes,
everything.
Everything. So,
one more question on the spot. I know I'm testing you now.
Thank you.
What would you say, if you could, for this year, in preparation for the next year? What would you say to homesteaders and farmers? What would be the one thing that they should start prepping for?
Canning jars.
Canning jars? Okay.
How are we on canning jars?
We got plenty of quart jars.
Okay.
Don't ask for any other size.
And would you think
Or
since
the lids. Don't ask for the lids.
and since you're saying that corn, because see, you're coming from it as an industry, really commercial perspective,
right.
which we don't have that, right? We're kind of reading articles. So you're saying corn might be, if anything, possibly on the low standard this year. As a possibility, right? So then is that something that we should start preparing and stocking for?
I try to explain to the everyday citizen, we haven't seen anything yet, because agriculture is going to be in turmoil this year with fertilizer prices tripled, no Roundup, and then that's going to affect all the other chemicals that we're going to be looking at. Fuel prices going up considerably. There's still a shortage, a trucking industry as well, to ship our grain out of here. We'll go down and look at the bins. There's still a shortage if you're in the market for a new tractor. It's just like automobiles as well, the chip shortage, so farmers cannot buy new tractors, which has caused the price of the used stuff to go up. It's not pretty. I think a lot of people don't even think about this, because even at the homesteader level, since we are in a smaller perspective than you are, we just think, oh, we just go out and get feed. But see, you which is a representation of all farmers, right, is our feed. Yeah.
So if you are getting hit hard this year, then that's going to affect us as homesteaders across the board. And then we're going to feel it first before people that go to the grocery store.
Because
we're in preparation.
You're at the first part of it.
Yeah.
That's right.
But then they will eventually feel it. So this is a warning, really a heads up to everybody, no matter where you're at. You need to start prepping now, start planning now.
So what I had noticed, you're building, all of your stuff. All of these buildings here that you're seeing, here, over there, everything down there, we built, my father, my grandfather, my uncles, with our own timber. We have woodland. My father would go out and...
so that's a similarity between us and you guys.
I mean, that's when I was watching some of your videos with what you're doing. That's what farmers do.
If y'all enjoyed the content from Donnie and just the information that he has his own YouTube channel. What's your name?
Farmer MD. The MD is not medical doctor. Some people think I'm a medical doctor. Maryland. I'm a farmer in Maryland, so Farmer Space MD.
Yep. Yes, so you need to check him out. Yeah, we'll link it, but you need to check it out. He has a lot of other videos, and we've checked out a lot of his videos, and he's doing you're all over the place. Yeah. He's all over the place. But you'll love it, and if you love this content, he'll be able to even give you more information too. So thank you so much, Donnie, for taking the time with us.
Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then make sure you check out this video over here and make sure you subscribe over here. Thanks so much, guys, and God bless.